It all began with a trembling voice in a dimly lit hospital room. A single video, only 2 minutes long, has now exploded across the internet, leaving millions in shock. In the clip, King Harris, son of rap legend T.I., speaks directly to the camera, his face pale, eyes filled with a strange mix of fear and defiance. "If anything happens to me during this surgery," he says, "just know, it wasn't an accident." Those words have sent the entire music world into chaos. Within hours, fans flooded social media with theories, hashtags, and breakdowns of every second of the video. Was he hinting at someone sabotaging his surgery? Was there a hidden message behind that cryptic smile at the end? Even close friends are reportedly shaken. Some claim King had been acting paranoid for weeks before the procedure. Others insist he knew something was coming. As rumors swirl and insiders scramble to control the narrative, one thing is certain: King Harris's last message before brain surgery has set off a storm that no one can stop. And now shocking new details are surfacing that might explain everything, or make things even darker than anyone imagined. The video starts with a shaky shot of the hospital hallway, nurses rushing by and muffled voices echoing in the background. Fans claim this is the same hallway where King Harris was last seen before his brain surgery. The clip transitions into an emotional montage of King's final moments before entering the operating room. His mother, Tiny, can be heard whispering softly, "You're gonna be fine, baby. God's got you." But King doesn't respond. Instead, he stares ahead, his jaw tight, eyes heavy with something that looks like fear. Or maybe guilt. According to sources close to the family, King had been acting strange for days leading up to the surgery. He stopped posting his usual funny videos, canceled a studio session, and even turned off his phone for nearly 24 hours. His friends thought he was just nervous about the procedure, but those who know him best say something else was going on. One of his cousins reportedly told a blogger he was paranoid, like really paranoid. He kept saying people were watching him, that something wasn't right. The night before the surgery, King posted an Instagram story that's now gone viral. It was a black screen with a simple message: "Truth always hurts the liar first." Fans instantly began dissecting every word, wondering who he was talking about. Some believe it was a message to his father, T.I., hinting at a falling out that had been brewing behind the scenes. Others think it was directed towards someone inside the hospital, maybe a doctor or a so-called friend who betrayed his trust. Reports suggest that King didn't want the surgery at first. Sources say it was supposed to be a minor procedure to address recurring headaches, but King kept postponing it. When he finally agreed, it was under what one insider described as unusual circumstances. One of the nurses allegedly overheard him arguing with someone on the phone just hours before being admitted. Witnesses claim they heard him say, "I know what you did. Don't act like I won't talk." The call abruptly ended, and King reportedly sat in silence for nearly 10 minutes before muttering, "Guess it's too late now." When the viral video surfaced, the one titled "My Last Message Before Surgery," fans couldn't believe their eyes. King looked exhausted, pale, and unlike his usual confident self. "If anything happens to me during this surgery, it wasn't an accident," he said in a trembling tone. He paused for a long moment, as if debating whether to continue. Then he added softly, "There's a truth that's gonna come out. I just hope y'all are ready for it." The internet exploded. Within an hour, hashtags like #DePrayForking and WhatDidISay started trending. Fans flooded Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok with reaction videos, conspiracy theories, and emotional breakdowns of every frame of his message. One theory claimed that King was trying to expose someone close to him, possibly even a member of his family. Others suggested the surgery was never about his health at all, but part of a bigger cover-up involving the music industry. A close family friend told an online news outlet that King had been in a heated argument with his father just 2 days before the surgery. "They yelled so loud you could hear it down the hall," the source said. It wasn't about music, it was personal. Real personal. Another insider claimed that King had discovered something that could ruin a reputation, though no one knew what that meant. Meanwhile, fans began noticing inconsistencies in the hospital's statements. First, they said the surgery was scheduled for early morning, but footage from a visitor's live stream showed King being wheeled into the room at nearly midnight. Then came the confusion about who was present during the operation. T.I. was reportedly in Los Angeles for a meeting, but photos surfaced showing him arriving at the hospital hours later, looking visibly shaken. Tiny, on the other hand, was seen pacing outside the IQ, her face red from crying. In the midst of the chaos, King's older brother Damani went silent. He didn't post, didn't comment, and didn't appear in any of the footage. Fans began to wonder if he knew something the public didn't. One TikTok video, which gained millions of views overnight, analyzed Damani's recent Instagram captions, claiming they hinted at guilt and secrecy. Then came the strangest part: the deleted text messages. A fan who claimed to have insider access leaked screenshots allegedly from King's phone, showing a conversation between him and an unknown contact saved as truth. In the messages, King wrote, "They think I don't know, but I do. It's all gonna end tomorrow," the contact replied. "Keep quiet and you'll be fine." That was the last message before the chat disappeared. As the story spread, people started questioning the authenticity of the surgery itself. Some alleged that King never underwent a medical operation at all, but was instead being kept under observation for something else, possibly related to his mental state. A self-proclaimed hospital employee even went online claiming that wasn't a surgery room. It was a controlled unit. He wasn't sedated for any medical reason. Though the account was later deleted, screenshots circulated widely, fueling even more speculation. Throughout it all, the Harris family remained silent. No statements, no interviews, just silence. Fans interpreted that as guilt, while others said it was simply shock. Yet a few journalists claimed they were told by unnamed sources that the family had been warned not to talk, possibly due to legal reasons or hospital confidentiality agreements. By the third day after the viral video, news outlets started camping outside the hospital. Paparazzi captured images of T.I. looking visibly exhausted, talking to doctors with his head down. Tiny refused to speak, covering her face with sunglasses and a hoodie. The tension was unbearable. Fans who gathered outside chanted, "We love you, King," while holding posters with his quote, "If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident." Then, a nurse who claimed to have been part of the operating team came forward anonymously. Her voice was disguised in a phone interview, but what she said sent chills across the internet. Before the anesthesia, he looked straight at me and said, "Promise me you'll remember my face." I didn't understand what he meant until the lights flickered in the room. The machines glitched, and for a moment, everyone froze. It was like something out of a movie. The hospital released an official statement denying any technical issues or irregularities during the procedure, but no one believed it. Fans argued that the timing of the glitches, combined with King's last message, was too coincidental. Online sleuths even analyzed the building's electrical history, claiming power fluctuations were recorded that same night. Meanwhile, rumors of a hidden recording began to circulate. Some said King had left a second video, one that was deleted before anyone could see it. Supposedly, it contained names, evidence, and a final warning. One blogger claimed to have seen it briefly before it vanished from the internet. He looked terrified, the blogger said. He whispered something like, "They'll erase me if I tell the truth." And then the video just cut off. Fans were desperate for answers. They started rewatching his old live streams, interviews, and even rap snippets, looking for clues. In one of his songs, King had a line that now seemed prophetic. "They want me on a table, not on a stage." People began quoting it everywhere, saying he had predicted his own downfall. The more the internet dug, the darker the theories became. Some pointed fingers at record labels, suggesting that King had uncovered a secret deal gone wrong. Others speculated about family betrayal, that someone close to him might have orchestrated the situation for money or control. Even those who dismissed the wildest theories admitted that something about the timing, the fear in his eyes, and the cryptic words in his final message didn't add up. And then came the biggest shock. Just hours after the video's release, someone reportedly tried to access King's hospital records. Security logs confirmed an unauthorized attempt to breach the system. The hospital called it a technical error, but fans didn't buy it. Who was trying to get into his files, and what were they looking for? As the first week of chaos unfolded, one thing was clear. The truth behind King Harris's last message was far from simple. What had started as a routine surgery had spiraled into a full-blown mystery that no one could explain. And behind the cameras, whispers began to grow louder. Maybe King had been right all along. Maybe it really wasn't an accident. The next part of the story begins just as a familiar face reappears. One who had been silent through it all, ready to speak out and turn the entire narrative upside down. The second part of the story opens with that silence being broken. After nearly a week of no statements, Damani Harris finally speaks. He appears on a dimly lit Instagram Live, his voice trembling, his eyes heavy like he hasn't slept in days. "Y'all don't know what's really going on," he says, pausing to take a deep breath. "This ain't about no surgery. It's about what he found out before it." His live barely lasts 5 minutes before it cuts off suddenly, but it's enough to send the internet into another frenzy. People begin replaying Damani's every word. Fans claim he looked terrified, like someone was watching him while he spoke. One viewer even swore they saw a shadow moving behind him just before the feed ended. The clip racks up millions of views in hours, with comments like "they're silencing him" and "Damani knows something he can't say." Theories explode once again, and now the focus shifts from the hospital to what King might have discovered. According to leaked voice notes allegedly sent by one of King's producers, King had been in possession of certain files, documents that were never supposed to be seen. He said it was bigger than music, the voice notes claim. "He told me he found something in an email that wasn't meant for him. I didn't ask what it was, but he sounded scared, bro. Like, shaking scared." These messages go viral overnight, fueling suspicions that King's surgery was a cover-up. But the family tries to regain control of the situation. T.I. releases a calm, carefully worded statement saying, "My son is recovering and we appreciate the love. Please stop spreading false stories." Yet the tone of his message feels off to fans. His voice, usually confident, sounds restrained, almost forced. Even the background of his video looks staged. A perfectly lit studio, no emotion on his face. Viewers flood the comments, calling it robotic and cold. Some even accuse him of reading from a script. Then a nurse's photo leaks. It shows a hospital monitor during King's procedure, with the date and time partially blurred. Eagle-eyed fans notice something odd. The timestamp doesn't match the official record. The surgery was said to have lasted 2 hours, but the photo shows equipment running for almost 4. This revelation sends shockwaves through social media. If the hospital lied about the duration, what else were they hiding? Things spiral further when an unknown YouTube channel uploads an audio clip titled, "The Room Went Silent." It's grainy, filled with static, but faint voices can be heard. One sounds eerily like King's, whispering, "Turn it off, please." Moments later, there's the sound of metal clanging and someone shouting, "Code Blue." The audio abruptly ends there. Some claim it's fake, others swear it's real, but its impact is undeniable. Within hours, it's trending everywhere. While the internet fights over what's real, behind the scenes, tensions are rising within the Harris family. Insiders claim T.I. and Tiny are at odds. Tiny reportedly wants to go public with what happened, but T.I. insists on keeping everything under control. According to one insider, she was crying, yelling that she's tired of hiding the truth. He told her to keep quiet or risk losing everything. Whether true or not, the rumor fits perfectly into the growing narrative of family division. Meanwhile, fans start noticing strange patterns in King's social media accounts. Old posts are disappearing, videos, captions, even comments. One fan account tracks the deletions in real time, showing that specific posts from the last 3 months have vanished without explanation. What's weirder is that they're all posts where King mentioned truth, freedom, or seeing through lies. By the 10th deleted post, fans are convinced someone is scrubbing his digital footprint. But just when everyone thinks the mystery couldn't get darker, A new figure enters the picture. A man claiming to be a former hospital technician. In a late-night interview with an underground podcast, he says, "They made us sign NDAs that didn't make sense. The night of his surgery, security cameras were turned off in the ICU. No one turns off cameras in a hospital. Ever." When pressed for details, he hesitates, then adds quietly, "Someone powerful wanted that blackout." This revelation shifts public suspicion away from the family and towards something even bigger, the hospital, and whoever might be connected to it. Some fans begin digging through old donation records and discover that a major investor in the hospital also has ties to T.I.'s business ventures. It sounds too wild to be true, but in the court of internet conspiracy, that's all it takes to ignite a firestorm. Tiny is eventually seen leaving the hospital in tears. Paparazzi catch her whispering, "He's not the same," before rushing into a car. Her words spark a whole new wave of fear. What did she mean? Was King awake? Was he conscious at all? Fans begin sharing alleged voice recordings of machines beeping, claiming it's proof that King is still under intensive care. Meanwhile, King's closest friends start to turn on each other online. One, who goes by the nickname Rico, posts a story that says, "Y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. He wasn't even supposed to go in that night." Minutes later, he deletes it. Another friend, known as Kai, posts a cryptic caption that reads, "Some secrets ain't worth the silence." These posts ignite speculation that King's surgery was pushed forward without his full consent. By the second week, the drama has turned into a full-blown digital war. Every social platform is flooded with theories, fake screenshots, and manipulated audio. But buried among the chaos, one piece of footage stands out. A newly surfaced video taken just hours before King entered the hospital. It shows him in his car, talking to someone on the phone. The clip is shaky, but you can clearly hear him say, "I can't trust nobody. Not even my own." The video ends abruptly when he notices the camera. This video confirms what fans have suspected all along, that King believed someone close to him was involved in whatever was about to happen. Now, the focus shifts back to T.I. People start revisiting old interviews where he talked about control, fame, and pressure. One clip in particular goes viral, where T.I. says, "In this industry, you either play the game or get played." Viewers twist the quote as proof that he knows more than he's saying. Even King's old lyrics come under new scrutiny. In one freestyle, he says, "They smile at me at dinner but feed me poison." The line, once dismissed as metaphorical, is now seen as chillingly literal by fans who believe he was warning everyone. As pressure mounts, Damani posts again, this time just a black screen with the words, "He tried to tell y'all." It sends shockwaves across every platform. Thousands of comments flood in within minutes, demanding answers. Reporters swarm the hospital once more, and sources claim there's a growing sense of panic inside the family circle. But perhaps the most unsettling moment of all comes late one night when a mysterious account uploads what appears to be a snippet from security footage. It shows a hospital corridor, time-stamped the night of the operation. A group of people in surgical uniforms walks by, but one of them stops, looks straight into the camera, and covers the lens. The footage cuts to black. That single clip reignites everything: the theories, the anger, the disbelief. Who was that person? Why hide their face? And why does it seem like every new detail only deepens the mystery instead of solving it? The situation is spiraling fast, and now, even those closest to King can't tell what's real anymore. The world is demanding the truth. But behind those hospital walls, only a handful of people know what really happened. And one of them is about to break their silence in a way that will shock everyone watching. It all begins the next morning when a short, anonymous email lands in the inbox of a major entertainment news outlet. The subject line simply reads, "They lied about everything." Attached to the email is a single file, a low-quality video showing King Harris sitting upright in a hospital bed, filmed secretly from the side. His voice is faint but clear. "I shouldn't even be awake right now," he says quietly. "They told me not to talk, but I can't keep quiet. Not after what I saw." The clip is only 20 seconds long before it cuts off, but that's enough. The internet erupts once again, and within hours, Shofker King Harris Truth trends across every platform. Fans go wild dissecting the footage. They notice the time on the monitor behind him doesn't match the day the hospital claimed he was in a medically induced coma. If this video is real, then the official reports were lies. Some argue it's fake, a deep fake meant to stir chaos, but others swear it's his real voice, trembling, emotional, unmistakably King. Unmistakably King. T.I. releases another statement hours later saying, "The family is focused on King's recovery and not on false videos." But that only adds fuel to the fire. The denial feels rushed, defensive, and almost panicked. For the first time, fans begin openly accusing T.I. of hiding the truth. One viral post reads, "If the video was fake, why did he respond so fast?" Another user comments, "You can't silence the internet forever." Things take an even stranger turn when the anonymous sender contacts a small podcast known for exposing celebrity secrets. The host, clearly nervous during the live broadcast, reads from the message the sender left. What happened in that operating room wasn't a surgery. It was an intervention gone wrong. The people responsible are trying to erase the evidence. No names are mentioned, but the implication is explosive. Suddenly, a new rumor takes over, that the so-called surgery was part of an experimental treatment King never agreed to. One thread claims it was linked to a new brain study funded by one of T.I.'s business associates. Another theory suggests the operation was an attempt to silence King, who had allegedly been planning to leak private information about the music industry. Meanwhile, Damani vanishes again, deleting all his posts and unfollowing everyone on social media. Fans interpret it as a sign he's being silenced. A former friend of the family tweets, "Damani tried to talk, but they got to him too." The tweet is deleted within minutes, but screenshots flood the internet. The hospital faces increasing pressure. Reporters gather outside, demanding transparency. That's when an alleged insider leaks a copy of the patient chart. It shows inconsistencies in medication doses and timestamps. Fans immediately point out that one dosage line was scribbled out and rewritten. What were they hiding? Online investigators dig deeper and uncover something chilling. They find a nurse's schedule proving that the doctor who performed King's operation wasn't even assigned to the case that night. That discovery sparks outrage. People begin questioning whether the man in the operating room was even a legitimate surgeon. Clips from King's earlier live sessions resurface where he joked about fake people in real positions, and suddenly, it doesn't sound like a joke anymore. Tiny, unable to bear the silence, finally speaks out through a tearful live session. Her face is red and swollen, her voice trembling. "He's my baby," she says softly. "I just want the truth. I don't care who it hurts." She doesn't mention names, but her words send shockwaves through fans who interpret them as a direct contradiction to T.I.'s carefully worded denials. Within minutes, she ends the live abruptly after someone knocks on her door. Viewers claim they heard a man's voice in the background saying, "Turn that off now." The emotional chaos reaches a boiling point when a hospital employee leaks a security report from the night of the surgery. It confirms a brief, unauthorized power interruption occurred during the procedure, exactly when fans believe the machines glitched. The official explanation claims it was due to maintenance testing, but skeptics are convinced it was a deliberate cover-up. As this information spreads, an unverified photo surfaces, showing a group of people standing outside the hospital's restricted wing. One of them, blurred but recognizable, appears to be T.I. wearing a hoodie and cap. Fans compare the image to his earlier claim that he wasn't present at the hospital that night. If true, he lied. And if he lied, what else did he lie about? More chaos unfolds when a hacker collective enters the scene, announcing they've obtained proof of tampered hospital records. Though no files are shown publicly, they post cryptic messages saying, "Truth uploads soon." News outlets hesitate to believe it, but fans are desperate. Overnight, the hacker account gains 500,000 followers. Tension online is electric. Everyone's waiting for the so-called proof to drop. As the story spirals, new voices emerge from within the music industry. One former producer goes live, claiming King had been planning to release a diss track exposing industry snakes. He insists that the surgery timing was no coincidence. "He told me straight up," the producer says, voice shaky. "He found something in his dad's office. Something about contracts that didn't make sense. No one can verify it, but the statement adds another layer of fire to the inferno. The Harris family's image begins to crack publicly. Old interviews are re-examined, old arguments resurface, and fan pages that once celebrated them now share clips of past tension between father and son. One particular video, where King says, "I don't need nobody controlling me," gains millions of views in a single day. Viewers now see it as a sign of defiance, a young man trying to escape the shadow of a powerful family. Then, out of nowhere, a mysterious voicemail leaks online. It's allegedly King's voice, recorded the night before the surgery. He sounds frantic, whispering into the phone, "If I don't make it through this, check the files in my laptop. Don't let them delete it." The call ends abruptly with what sounds like a door opening and a muffled voice saying, "We're ready for you." This recording becomes the biggest piece of evidence yet. Even skeptics start admitting that something dark might have happened. News stations try to calm the storm, but the internet has already made up its mind. Something isn't right. Fans begin organizing online protests, tagging the hospital and demanding investigations. Hashtags like Tandor Justice Forking trend worldwide. Outside the hospital, small crowds gather holding candles, posters, and speakers blasting his music. Some chant, "We want answers," others cry openly. As the noise grows louder, T.I. reportedly calls a closed-door meeting with his legal team. Witnesses say he looked furious, slamming his phone against the table and shouting, "They're ruining everything." One insider says he blames social media for turning the situation into a circus, but even those close to him are beginning to distance themselves. Then something happens that changes everything. A local news reporter receives an unmarked package at the studio. Inside, there's a USB drive and a single note that says, "He tried to warn us." When the contents are played, everyone in the newsroom goes silent. The drive contains a full-length recording, video footage from inside the hospital room, time-stamped the night of the surgery. The screen flickers, the lights dim, and a voice, King's voice Gatline, says, "Why are there cameras here? Who are you people?" Before the screen cuts to black, the reporter's team contacts authorities, but before they can air the footage, the video mysteriously disappears from their system. The USB is gone, the files wiped clean. Only one intern manages to save a still image, King looking terrified, reaching out toward the lens. This image spreads like wildfire across the internet, becoming a symbol of fear and truth-seeking. Memes, news stories, and emotional fan tributes flood social media, all asking the same haunting question: what really happened to King Harris that night? As the tension peaks, the Hacker Collective posts one final message. The truth drops in 24 hours. The countdown begins, and the entire internet holds its breath. Everyone wants to know, what did King see and who wanted to make sure he never spoke again? The next day arrives with an eerie calm, but when the so-called evidence finally goes live, it doesn't just answer questions. It completely changes the story, twisting everything the public thought they knew about King, his family, and that mysterious night inside the hospital. The final part begins in complete chaos. At exactly midnight, the Hacker Collective finally releases the files they had promised. But instead of the explosive proof fans were expecting, the video is something far more disturbing. It opens with security footage from the hospital hallway, time-stamped the same night as King's supposed surgery. At first, it looks normal. Doctors pass by, nurses carry trays. Everything seems routine. Then, without warning, the lights flicker and the screen distorts. A figure in a hoodie enters the frame, pushing a covered stretcher. The camera catches only a glimpse of a wrist tattoo that fans instantly recognize. It's the same tattoo King has. The video zooms in on the figure as they stop near a restricted door. Two men in suits appear, exchange words, then escort the stretcher into the room. Seconds later, the feed cuts to black. After that, a second clip plays, a shaky handheld recording from what seems to be inside the same room. Muffled voices whisper, "Keep recording," and then, King's faint voice can be heard saying, "I told you I didn't agree to this." The room fills with panicked noise, machines beeping and someone yelling, "Don't let him wake up." Then silence. The clip ends abruptly. The internet implodes. Millions of viewers watch in disbelief, demanding explanations. Hashtags like "Wow, we're in the suits" and "What did King see" start trending within minutes. Fans flood T.I.'s social media with accusations demanding he tell the truth. Within an hour, his accounts go private. Tiny's too. The entire family goes dark. Reporters swarm the hospital again. But by sunrise, the building releases a new statement claiming the footage was heavily manipulated and taken out of context. Yet they fail to explain why the timestamps match the night of the operation or why the footage even exists if cameras were supposedly turned off. Online investigators begin comparing the leaked videos with archived hospital layouts, proving that the room seen in the footage wasn't a surgery room at all, but part of a closed-off wing used for private medical research. As these revelations spread, King's condition suddenly becomes the center of confusion. The hospital insists he's recovering, but no one has seen him. No photo, no video, no statement, just words. Rumors explode that he's been moved to a different facility under security supervision. Fans don't buy it. One nurse anonymously posts, "He's not in that building anymore." Her account is deleted hours later. In a shocking twist, a voice recording surfaces, allegedly of T.I. arguing with a hospital administrator. His voice, angry and low, says, "This was supposed to be handled quietly. You said there wouldn't be leaks." The administrator's response is muffled, but the phrase, "It's already out of control," can be heard clearly. The recording spreads like wildfire, dividing the internet even more. Some defend T.I., saying he's just a desperate father trying to protect his family. Others are convinced it proves guilt. Tiny disappears from public view completely, and reports claim she's staying in a private residence with limited contact. One friend of hers posts a cryptic Instagram story saying, "The truth can destroy everything," but lies already did. Fans believe it's about King, fueling more theories that she's being silenced. Damani resurfaces for the first time in weeks with a simple message posted on X. "It's not over." He deletes it after 5 minutes, but not before screenshots spread everywhere. His silence afterward only deepens the mystery. Then, one late-night live stream changes everything. A small independent journalist goes live, claiming to have spoken with a hospital staff member who treated King after the supposed surgery. The anonymous source, voice distorted, reveals, "King woke up 2 days later. He wasn't supposed to. He kept asking for his phone. He said he needed to tell someone what really happened. They sedated him again. That's the last time I saw him." The journalist looks shaken, eyes darting off screen. "We tried verifying it," he says quietly, "and the name the source gave us does exist on the hospital roster, but now it's marked terminated." Fans lose their minds. Thousands flood the chat, demanding answers, tagging every news outlet and celebrity they can think of. Other small journalists jump on the story, all trying to confirm if King truly woke up. The hospital remains silent. In the following days, the story reaches global attention. International media begins covering it, calling it the most mysterious celebrity medical case of the decade. Talk shows debate whether King's disappearance is a hoax or a cover-up. Conspiracy videos reach millions of views, some even claiming King has already been moved overseas for his safety. One particularly viral theory suggests he's in protective custody because he uncovered secrets involving multiple industry figures. But the truth remains hidden until one final leak appears. A short, low-quality video uploaded to a private Discord server shows King again, this time lying in bed, eyes half open, whispering something barely audible. Enhanced audio reveals him saying, "They can't erase everything. I left the rest where it started." And then, faintly, "Tell my family I forgive them." The clip spreads like wildfire before being removed from all major platforms. Every upload gets taken down within minutes. People claim it's the real King speaking from hiding. Others think it's AI-generated, but no one can fully confirm. Still, the message, "I left the rest where it started," becomes the internet's new obsession. What did he mean? Where did it start? Online detectives start analyzing every clue from the beginning. His Instagram captions, deleted stories, even the hospital's layout. One fan theory that goes viral claims, "where it started," refers to his childhood home. suggesting King left something there, maybe files, maybe evidence. Another theory says it points to his first music studio, the place where he recorded his first song. Fans begin showing up to both locations, live streaming, searching for anything that could prove the message real. Meanwhile, tension in the Harris family grows unbearable. Insiders leak that T.I. and Tiny are barely speaking. Damani reportedly refuses to attend meetings with them. T.I., once known for controlling every narrative around his family, now faces accusations of lying, manipulation, and even involvement in something much darker. His reputation begins to crumble publicly as major outlets question his silence. Amid all this chaos, an unexpected moment happens. At a music award show, a tribute video plays in King's honor. It shows clips of his early performances, his laughter, his bright energy. The crowd goes silent. Tears stream down faces, even those who don't know what to believe. The host ends the segment with the words, "Wherever you are, King, the world is waiting for you." The next morning, something eerie happens. All of King's official social media accounts reactivate for just 10 minutes. His Instagram profile, which had been offline for weeks, suddenly posts a black image with a single line of text. Truth takes time. Before anyone can comment or screenshot, the post disappears and the account vanishes again. The internet goes insane. Was it him? Was someone controlling his accounts? Or was it an automated post he set up before the surgery? Fans flood timelines, arguing, crying, speculating. Influencers, journalists, and even celebrities start weighing in. Everyone wants to know what "truth takes time" means. Some believe it's his way of saying he's alive. Others think it's a cryptic warning that something even bigger is coming. Hashtags explode again. News stations cover the strange reappearance, and late-night hosts call it the comeback no one saw coming. Behind the noise, though, a few quiet voices keep whispering that none of this was random. One independent reporter claims to have seen documents showing that King's case was officially closed by the hospital under non-standard circumstances. When asked what that means, she says softly, "It means someone powerful requested the files be sealed permanently." Weeks later, no one has seen King publicly, but his name continues to dominate headlines. His last video message, the one that started it all, is still being replayed by millions. His trembling words echo in every fan's mind. "If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident." And now, after everything that's surfaced, those words feel heavier than ever. The world keeps watching, waiting for him to reappear. Some say he's hiding for his safety. Others believe he's gone for good. But one thing's for sure, King Harris's last message before brain surgery didn't just go viral. It exposed something that can't be unseen. Something that will haunt the industry, the family, and everyone who's followed this story. And as the cameras fade, the only thing left is silence, and the echo of that haunting line still looping across millions of screens. Truth takes time. And that brings us to the question everyone is still asking. Where is King Harris now? Is he really out there, watching all of this unfold from somewhere in hiding? Or did something far darker happen behind those hospital doors? The truth is, no one knows for sure. But one thing is undeniable. That final message, those 4 words, "Truth takes time," have changed everything. It's no longer just a story about a surgery or a celebrity mystery. It's about secrets, silence, and the power of one voice that refused to disappear. As fans, the world can only wait. Will the truth finally come out? Will King return to clear the air? Or will this story fade into the long list of unsolved Hollywood mysteries? Some believe the countdown has already started, and when the truth drops, it won't just shake the industry, it'll rewrite everything we thought we knew. But now it's your turn. What do you think really happened that night? Was King trying to expose something bigger? Or was it all just a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control? Drop your theories in the comments. We'll be reading them all. If you believe there's more to this story, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe for updates and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Because this isn't over. Not by a long shot. Stay tuned because the truth always finds its way. Always finds its way